You ever stop and wonder why success is measured in terms of money, power, fame, like things like that? Why is it that the eyes of the world view how successful somebody is through those lenses? Why do they do that? Why is it that that's like the measuring stick of where somebody stands in terms of success? And do you think that God, that Jesus, views us in terms of how successful we are in that way? Like what kind of toys we've amassed, how many women we've gone out with, how much money we have in the bank, how much power we have. Do you think he does? I don't think he does. I think it's a very different way of measuring us to God. I think it has to do with different things entirely. Things like how humble we might be. Things like how non-self-serving we are. Things like how well we keep God's commandments. Things like how willing we are to give of ourselves, physically, financially, otherwise, especially when others aren't looking. Like especially when other people don't know we're doing it. I think he measures it in terms of how willing we are to go out and just help our fellow human being. Be a good person. Don't get one over on people, even if we have the ability to do so. Don't cheat, don't lie, don't steal. Things like that. I think he really bases it on our heart, not so much on what we've amassed in our life. It's very different. But we get caught in this little trap in the world where we just view it through this one lens and we get stuck in that, unfortunately. We need to get out of that. This life flies by, it's super fast, it's gone before you know it. Then all those things, you can't take them with you. You really can't. What's more important? To have all those things in this life, or to be viewed as a righteous soul by God? What is? I'd venture to say is to be viewed as a righteous soul by God. Now, for my part, in the past, I definitely viewed success through those lenses. And I will say this, and this is a story for another time, and somewhat in the near future, I'll get into this. I had the ability to open the door to fame, great fame, for myself, once upon a time, for sure. I will take it to my grave that I did. And I gave it up. Again, this is a story for another day. Great fame and great wealth. But the fame especially I desired. All right? And I was all about that. But had I attained that, I believe personally for me, it would have destroyed me. I started to recognize that after a lot of years passed. I'm thankful that I did. But I can understand where people come from with this. Like I do get it. And to this day, I mean, I'm no perfect person at all. Far from it. I sin all the time. If nothing else, then in my thoughts. But I'm trying to not. I'm trying to live right by God. That's what he wants of us. He wants us to do our best to live right by his commandments. And in a world that's like bent towards evil, bent towards crazy things, and it's getting worse and worse and worse, in this time, it would behoove very many people to go take a walk by themselves at some point and have a talk with God, speak to Jesus, and see what happens. There are deeper things in this world. I will tell you for myself, having done so, I have a peace now that goes beyond my understanding. Do I still have problems? Yes. Do I still struggle with sin? Yes. But in terms of like being destroyed by it, having this crazy aching in my soul for many, many, many years, that no longer exists. But it was through Christ that happened. So, just want to put this out there, something to think about. Take care.